Hold on to your butts, kids! It's the all-new Jurassic Park 98! Introducing the Gyrosphere! Corning tough, made by Intamin!
Whoa, this is amazing!
The all-new Gyrosphere from Intamin! Corning tough! Check out the brand new Gyrosphere!
And with that, I hope this 90s commercial brought you into today's episode, where we are going to introduce our first Gyrosphere ride. It's gonna be a carnivore area, and it's gonna be very cool, located in our Jurassic Palms 98 project. So with that, let's roll the intro, and I'm gonna get you into today's episode. So, welcome back in our beloved project here in Jurassic World Evolution 3 and our 90s inspired park. We are moving forward a brand new attraction to the very end of the park. You can see some landscaping in the background, and as you can tell from my voice, I have been sick the last couple of days. This is also why there was a bit of break in Jurassic content. I just had a couple of things prepared for other games, but I just had a week off because of being sick, and you can still hear it. I feel a lot better now, but still my voice is somewhere else. You gotta deal with it, but I think we will be fine. We will be fine. Now, this build in particular, I wanted to do the full build, but this is part 1 of 2 now. I gotta explain why in a bit. First of all, by the way, because it took just way too long. I thought it's gonna be a rather quick build. Oh boy, was I wrong, because, you know, the stupid camel always comes up with ideas that I wanted to kind of realize. And specifically with this build over here, I wanted to create some very cool viewings with the Gyrosphere, and at the same time I wanted to create something that is, let's say, rather safe. Now, as in the timeline of Jurassic Parks, or Jurassic Worlds if you will, we are located in, well, as the title says, 1998. Given that the park wouldn't be in its full glory to like opening day, you still would obviously have a couple of attractions being added later. However, considering when Jurassic World is set, you know, at the end of the 2000s, there's still a big margin. So realistically, the Gyrosphere ride would have debuted in this park over here. And the ad at the beginning, I don't know why, I had this like kind of weird loop in Instagram lately that I was just seeing a lot of reels of these kind of super old 90s adverts for like Lego and some other toys, and even like Jurassic toys and so on. And I figured that would have been a fun intro to do for this project, because the whole time when I was building this, I had this in mind, like that you kind of create this brand new attraction, and you obviously aim this for like teens and kids, and, you know, coming with their families. And you know, the Gyrosphere ride in Jurassic World, obviously on Isla Nublar in the real film, is aimed to be in the herbivore area, obviously. And I wanted to bring this a little step further, you know, to make this also an area which is amongst the carnivores. However, you need to then kind of do things differently. You couldn't have them roam free through their habitats, because that would have been way too dangerous, as we could clearly tell in the scene where, you know, the two kids, I even forgot the kids, like they're so forgettable. I forgot the 2 names of the kids in Jurassic World, like they're so forgettable that that I totally forgot about those 2 fellows, because, you know, they've never been playing a role anymore, well, whatever. However, I think the idea of having a gyrosphere is super cool, and I wanted to create one that is super nice indeed and kind of curls around these habitats. But also, I wanted to create an infrastructure amongst it that is realistic. As you can tell over here, we are adding a bunker area. So that means in case of any emergency, there's always like a little option to go into a safe zone, and this, as you can see over here, is connected to the Hyperloop, and there is a little safe bunker. And as you can tell, what I'm using over here is a technique that you do quite often see in real life zoos as well, when it's about the more dangerous animals. You have a raised viewing that is followed by a huge ditch, and then you have these very steep walls with a kind of security on top, where you even have these kind of, you know, metal beams pointing out, so that there's even no chance of climbing up or jumping up, and in case there's a high likeliness of injuries, so they quite quickly learn that they can't just jump up here. So, you know, as far as realism goes, I mean, we have a completely engineered dinosaur park, so I guess we don't need to figure too much about realism. But I think just for the idea of making it look believable, it just kind of makes sense to go into that little area. So I was creating this new wall. I have a couple of wall sets over here. I should put them in the workshop, by the way. Forgot about these many times. I should definitely put a couple of my blueprints up. I've got so many variations of walls now. They would be fun for you, especially these gyrosphere gate we are building in a bit. I'm very proud of that one, to be honest. We'll get to that in a minute. You'll see. It's really, really cool. Also, the design is super 90s, and it's also like we're building concrete walls, you know. There's not really that much about walls that can be 90s, but I think especially the kind of concrete vibe is 90s on its own already. So I'm rather happy with how it turned out. Now, the main idea, we've got the station outside here. There's going to be a main habitat here in front of it. The whole idea was created with a little bit of a valley in mind, but then again, I wanted to create these mountains also, or like, I should say hills, it's not mountains, but they blend very nicely into the landscape. You'll be able to see this in the real-time part later on, very nicely indeed. This mountain is created with the background, like with the actual map in mind, so that it all blends in way better into the environment. Sometimes I do hate with these maps that it all feels so detached from the environment, and having these kind of perfectly rectangular parks is obviously nice to have a lot of building space, but it also doesn't feel organic. So I wanted to create this corner over here to have an organic blend into the rest of the map, which worked surprisingly well, I must admit. I thought it's gonna look different because sometimes the in-game, or like in-game is wrong, but like the stuff you create yourself in the park looks a lot more detailed than the background map does, which makes sense because the background is just a background, and so it's not as detailed to save polygons and save performance. But in this case, it looks really nice. So yeah. Obviously, I have already said that I'm very proud of this gate. So here we are building a little gate for the gyrosphere. So the main idea is to create these kind of double round tunnel. Is it a tunnel though? Is it a tunnel when it's still open, or is it just a cage? I don't know. You decide. But I figured that this would be a fun idea to have these these kind of round double secure gates, and then in the gate I envisioned that there is like a closing mechanism in the middle. So it's two things I had in mind. The first thing is that when you go to zoos, like zoos have also these kind of free roaming animals, but they are most likely separated by kind of girders on the ground. Like what these animals, specifically also chicken and all kind of dinosaur related animals, I guess, don't like is they don't really like to go on metal beams, whatever this is, but they really dislike that. So you can also keep chickens inside somewhere when you just have like a kind of a, how's it called, like a walkway made out of metal beams or so. They just don't walk over that. They need a complete ground. And this is why I thought like these things over here could also be like a nice reminiscence of this one. I mean, even though they don't step on it, but maybe they realistically, because you know they have been engineered them with chickens and so on in mind, they wouldn't necessarily go on that one. And as we have like a double structure and round structure, it is super secure for the people. And this is what I had in mind. And realistically, if you close all the security gates, there would obviously be iron beams coming in the middle, so that this gate is closed and people can get into more secure areas around here. And yeah, so this is how I started to build around these things. Once I have made these openings, you can see the next step was obviously to create another retaining wall that looks a lot better. Well, no, not better, but that looks different enough from the other one, just so it gets a bit more, you know, variation in it. Obviously, we also need some water features that are really interesting to look at, and then also needed to kind of create a bit more of the, you know, environment. This one here over here is going to be for the Deinonychus. The new version, not the old weird version. It's about the new feathery version. I'm really proud of the habitat over here because the retaining wall looks super cool. We've got a double wall coming up here with a bit of a slight angle to it. And the reason why I made this angle is just also to get the idea that people don't just drive with the gyrosphere up to the wall, just making it double as secure. And, you know, considering the height of Deinonychus, it is absolutely fine and secure. So there should not be too much of an issue. I mean, they technically could jump relatively high, but this is why we have this kind of double wall feature going on. I've been moving these things around quite a bit, and you've seen that I also have been using quite a lot of decals. I completely forgot about those many times, but as a little tip for you guys, to make things look more believable, even if you build a new ride that just has opened, use decals to make things look a little bit more aged. considering what you have in mind, obviously use more or less of these ones. But like, even if you build something new, just remember that when you build a new structure or like a new kind of habitat, it would have still taken them a year or so to do everything. So everything that has been set in there at the beginning is already kind of weathered, you know, specifically when it's outside. Inside, maybe not so much, but outside, these structures that would have been placed as the first structures, they would have been aged the most and weathered the most. So this is why decals make a lot of sense. If you forget about those, it doesn't really matter that much though, but just as I said, it's always like for the eye. If you want to make something look believable, these little details, like decals for example, they help to sell the idea. It's just subtle, you know, it's something you don't notice until you notice. And I'm really pleased with how the result is. This bunker over here, by the way, is one of these things where I still need to put some decals in. I made this structure to copy that around to some other locations as well, as you'll be seeing in a second. I'm kind of happy with it. I integrated the Hyperloop right away into this structure so that we have both as one building. I think realistically this is how you would do that, you know. You wouldn't detach the Hyperloop from the bunker. It just makes sense to have it inside of it anyway, so to be able to escape while already being secured in a bunker. I mean, everything else is just like very weird indeed, I guess. So yeah, it turns out to be looking very cool, and I found some really nice elements here that work together nicely as a wall piece for here. So, and this wall in particular obviously is a very solid structure. We don't really have dinosaurs around this area, so it's not a secure wall in that sense, but it still should be solid enough so in case that we have any breakouts, it at least does do a little bit of, you know, security here. Yeah, putting some vending machines in and so on. So as long as there is no need of security, it still could be an area for like staff and so on to quickly move around the areas. As I said, I just copied that around into another location to have like more security and more potential escapes around our structure, because obviously in this valley over here is not like simple to get here. Sometimes it's just not about even the dinosaurs breaking out or so. It's also like, what about a normal emergency of a person having some health issues, you know, or claustrophobic situations inside of the gyrospheres. Like there's all like a panic attack, you know. There's a lot that could happen. So realistically, in these rides, you would need to have these escape options. And with all the experience of Planet Zoo and Planet Coaster, I think tying those kind of things and experiences together, you can create some really believable attractions in Jurassic World Evolution 3. I am beyond happy with the results so far, but as you can tell from all the structures and the buildings, it's a lot more detailed than I thought it was going to be. But I'm just like super happy about it. This is going to be the last big habitat. I'm not entirely sure which one is going to go in here. I was maybe aiming for the Giga, but I'm not entirely sure if it is going to be the Giga. It definitely is an idea to have the Giganotosaurus in there as like a main big one in the back here. But I could also see myself putting the Giga in its very own attraction somewhere. So I'm still debating with myself. It's not fully considered yet. I've been starting to do the habitat, but yeah. Also, I tried to do a little research about some of the specimens in which climate region they have lived originally, and also to kind of create these habitats a bit more, you know, after their original habitat. So I took the in-game advice, and I just also did check a couple of, you know, online sources, but it's not always 100% obvious, I think. And so I tried to do the best. Like, we do have at the moment 3 different habitats in here. The first one is the Deinonychus, the second one is the Carnotaurus, Carnotaurus. Then the third one is the, oh, now you got me. Is it the Albertosaurus? I think it is. Yeah, I forgot. I think it is. But these ones, I think it's not the Albertosaurus. Yeah, we'll see in the real-time part. I'm going to show you. My brain isn't braining right now. Hold on with me. It's like my brain still is fuzzy from being sick. But yeah, the idea is that I gave them the habitats, one being a bit more of a temperate one. The Carnotaurus has a bit more deserty one, like with open plains and open fields. And the last one is a bit more tropical. At least that's what I was able to figure out from some of the in-game source and some sources I quickly researched. Surely you guys will be maybe educate me in a different way, but that was the idea, to have some different biomes going on as well. And then the same would go on with the last habitat as well. And as you can tell, I also try to bring in different types of viewing. So we have these retaining walls, but we also have a bridge over here that is crossing over the habitat to see the animals roaming below, which is super cool as well. Creating this bridge was also very fun indeed, and making some nice areas for cover below these bridges. I envisioned that animals could seek some shelter there as well, so I left them open, and I put also like a little bit of a barrier in here. Realistically, there would need to be like a bigger fence, but also I took the freedom, the creative freedom, to say that there would be some invisible technical borders over here, so that whenever you are on the bridge, A, the gyrosphere cannot open, and B, unless there is going to be a stop to the ride and an emergency situation, and B, there is some technical limitations to not drive all the way towards the side of it. By the way, I should have said that, but everything is using the little trick in the rides in the game, that you can obviously manipulate the rides whenever you place a ride down as first, and then later on you put some solid scenery pieces below it. They will act as a bridge, for example. You just gotta lower down the terrain underneath, so the game will still consider where the gyrosphere is driving, and technically the track is on the ground, but as there is a solid structure acting like a bridge, the gyrosphere will go over the bridge. The same happens, by the way, also with the tunnel I built and so on. So that turned out to be looking absolutely fine. Here you can see me putting a couple of things into the habitat to make it a bit more interesting looking and a bit more realistic and natural, and just not with the brushes only, but also putting in some individual trees, which just makes the whole area already feel so much more alive. And yeah, it's like a bit of an issue with the game anyways. I've seen people complaining about that, rightfully so, that the foliage brush is a little bit too hesitant in placing trees. Like whenever there's a smallest incline, the foliage brush doesn't even place any trees down anymore, which is kind of unrealistic. So they should change that to have trees grow on at least 30 to 40 degree angle as well. Maybe not in the highest density, but it's a bit unrealistic that you only have rocks grow there, and it's just like you would still have trees. Trees can grow on a steep incline, depending on which tree, but you know, that would be better. I mean, you can still place them manually, it's not that bad, but I would love to see that fix. Anyhow, this has been it for the time lapse. Let's jump over into the game, because you surely want to see what this 90 ads commercial did offer you, how it's looking in the game or in the park, and I'll be there with you in a second. Do a little bit of a funky tour here with the gyrosphere, so you can see what we actually built. I was actually right, it is the Albertosaurus that we have put in there. Just let's go a little off-road here to overtake some of these wonderful gyrospheres in our way. And let's go here again. They are really slow on their way in, and there you can see this is the entrance to the area. I'm gonna put some signs in and stuff, don't you worry. This is a little educational ride over here. There will be some educational signs, and then we go in. There's a bit of a little bump I need to fix, but in here you can also see some skid marks already of the gyrospheres trying to go up here. And then if we want to have a little look, we should see, there you can see one roaming around, the Deinonychus over there. This is the habitat. You can see the water feature in the back, very nice indeed. There's also a goat roaming around, so that's that. And then you can obviously escape this little viewing through that little tunnel. Then there's going to be a bit more education going on over here, which we'll have. Maybe we put some herbivores in here, smaller herbivores to just roam around. I had the idea, or maybe some compies even, was also a fun idea to do. They could actually roam around free in this area, but yeah, you'll see about that. And then we come to the next one, the Carnotaurus. Oops, let's have a look how we can have a bit of a better view. There you have it. Let's see where we have it roaming around, the Carno. Can we see? There you go. Look at that, almost very nicely hidden with the colors, but they also have like a water feature. There is really, oh, that looks so good. Oh, that's so good. Oh, also, is that not, I'm so stupid. I'll get to that in a minute. I'm so stupid. Oh boy. Yeah, there you have. Oh, look at that. It's going to sip some water. We've got three of them in here. And then we go over. I can see you guys going nuts in the comments already, but I'll get to that in a minute. So here we go, taking that route through that little corner. Then I get a bit more education here, fixing that bump eventually. And then we go to the bridge into the Albertosaurus area. There we have also a little water feature. And on the right hand side, this is the more tropical kind of area. You can see going about, there's one hidden behind these like bamboo. There's one staying. Oh my god, we can, oh my god, we can bump down. I didn't know we can. That was not meant to be. I have no idea how I can get back up here or whatever. But then we at least can have a look at this one. There we have it. Oh my god, it's numb. We can't hear it. But yeah, you can see even then the retention wall over here, how kind of honestly good that works. And there's the other one here behind. But yeah, what I actually wanted to show you as well is that you can then go through this tunnel, which is kind of cool. It's kind of creepy though, because they can get a lot closer to you. It's right behind their nest, as you can see. And they would be exactly at head height. So when they are closer to you, they would technically be able to see you, but they can't really get closer to you because of these kind of double metal railing. There's no chance of them biting into that corning gorilla glass thingy. But yeah, so this is how the whole ride looks. And obviously, going over here, whoops, where is our one? This is obviously not a Carno. This is a Ceratosaurus and not a Carnosaurus. I wanted to put the Carno in here, but then I figured that I'm gonna do something for the Carno in a bit of a different way, and this is obviously a Ceratosaurus living in this habitat. I'm so sorry. That was pretty stupid. I'm not sure why I mixed that up, but anyways, yeah, you can see this again. This is where the backstage is, with a couple of little things, and then we have a second backstage area right over here. With the two gates opening to the left and right, and this is the area for another one. Maybe even I'm splitting that up into two. Technically I could still do 2 habitats out of it. I may actually do this because 2 habitats would be more fun to have, and then this is the viewing for this habitat, and then I can put another viewing in here. I think I'm gonna go for 2 because that area is rather large. But what I wanted to show you, which is way more important, is how that all blends in now. So we are moving forward at a good speed to fill in the rest of the park. But as you can tell, look at that. Look at how this valley blends in with that mountain in the background. Like, this is what I wanted to do with it. And as I said, look at that. It is just absolutely gorgeous. It really looks like as if the whole park would continue into that valley with the little mountain in the back. It just really fits in super well. And the good thing is, the more you zoom out, the details of my landscaping vanish a little bit, and so it blends in way better with the background. So the closer you get, you can see I'm getting closer, and now obviously the details in my landscaping get better, but it still blends in nicely with the background. So there's not really that much of a difference. This is also why I stopped making this a bit more. I mean, it could have gone a bit more nicer with the detailing of the mountains, but it just blends in so well that I was like, why would I change it, you know? Why would I even change it? Because it really looks good. And if you look from above, the whole ride now has a very good footprint. I'm kind of happy with it. If that all is filled, gonna put some more forest in between. We are actually going very nicely to the end. So what is happening still is we are going to have this area filled with a lot of facilities. This is going to be the main hub of the park eventually. We have a lot of facilities going on. Some hotels will be here in the center. This is going to be our main focus because I want to also guide the people here so that there's a lot of running people, a lot of footfall. This is very important to me, and this is going to be another huge parking lot area. We've got one huge parking here. The other huge parking will go eventually there. I'm going to copy over my little not so good looking, but from the distance good looking joints and roads and stuff like that. This is going to be it. And then over here we are going to have something else very big in nature. We still have some herbivores left that can go here, and this is another area which will potentially become a little bit of an airbase kind of thing, like an airstrip or something for them to land. I thought about doing this on the other side maybe, but I think this over here could work for smaller kind of planes as well. Gotta calculate that with how long this is in need. Maybe I'm gonna stretch that out to the sea even. We've got a couple of other things here. I plan to have another dinosaur in here, but I'll look into that. Our natural lagoon looks still good. But yeah, as I said, this is how our Jurassic Park looks. Or Jurassic Palms 98, I should say. I am not entirely sure how many episodes it's gonna be. I want to really do the supercut in a bit. So I'm planning to go for another 4 to 5 episodes and then we would be finished with our first main Jurassic project, and I've got so many ideas for other projects, but I desperately want to finish that thing off. Also, I gotta sell a lot of these dinosaurs over here. I also have to put some, or actually delete some of the nests. This is just ridiculous what's going on in here. Oh boy. And I do have the game on pause for the most time, so whatever happens if it's not on pause would be ridiculous. So, yeah, still happy with the T-Rex Kingdom, by the way. It's a bit sad that it didn't really get more views. I'm still very, very happy about this. No matter what, this is really cool. Also, our Pyroraptor Dome, still love that one. Yeah, it's such a good park. I'm still in awe with it. Anyways, guys, at this point, it's just me to say to you, if you want to support the channel and if you want to support me, if you like all the builds and you want to make me continue this, because at the moment, YouTube is kind of harsh, you can support in many different ways. So first of all, if you still have some hypes left, please consider hyping the video, because that essentially is pay to win at the moment on YouTube without you paying anything. That is going to help me out as well. But in any case, you can also purchase a game via my instant gaming link. It's always in the description. You help me directly by purchasing stuff via that one too. Also a very nice thing. And in any case, if for whatever reason you want to become a member of the channel, you can also do this for a very small amount, and you got access to my emojis and stuff like that. There is no further benefit, because I hate the idea of having people exclusives. It's just like, if you want to support, and if not, that's totally fine, because you support by watching my videos more than enough and hyping the video, which is for free essentially. But just in case, if you want to, you can. God, it looks so gorgeous, doesn't it? Anyhow, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode, and if you have ideas for the last 2 habitats of this ride, let me know. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you in the next one. Until then, have a happy day, and so on. Bye.